ready.
Hello everybody, Jcc2224 here, back again with another freaking Clone Corner, and instead of just talking about 3¼ inch Clone Troopers today, I decided to talk about a very weird aspect of Clone Trooper collecting I'm not sure a lot of people are really familiar with. Back in 2005, back when I was a young little lad, there was something called Attacktix. It was Hasbro's weird attempt to make some sort of game out of figurines. Nowadays we see that all the time. I think there's hero clicks and all that, but these figures were very interesting in the fact that they were super stylized, had giant launchers, as you can see here. This is supposed to be a DC-15 rifle. I don't know if you noticed, that's supposed to be a DC-15 rifle. All of them came with giant missiles, which I don't have with any of the figures I'm going to show you here. However, here's an example of my General Grievous with a giant missile. They're pretty ridiculous. And these lines were certainly aimed towards kids. These weren't a collector thing, and I remember seeing these all the time growing up, and they didn't really do it for me. I had a couple, but all in all, Attacktix was not really something that interested me. I was more so an action figure fan back in 2005, and I didn't really get these. Now, I do have a little collection here. I don't have every single Attacktix Clone Trooper. There's still a few I'm missing. However, I did want to do a video showing these off, because they're absolutely hilariously dumb with how they portray some of these characters. Now, if you're wondering, Attacktix wasn't just a Star Wars thing. Attacktix was also a Transformers thing. Here you can see with Attacktix Hot Rod, or not Hot Rod, Hot Shot, they're pretty much the same guy, aren't they? Wink, wink. I can't believe I made that mistake. But anyways, yeah, you can see his arm has just become a giant missile. His fist just shoots a missile. Of course, I lost the missile years and years ago. This is actually one of the few Attacktix I had growing up. And it's pretty neat. You can see it has a very similar base to all the Star Wars figures. Here's the General Grievous base, just as an example. And it says the name, it has some sort of symbol and all that. You know, all these years, I don't know how the game works. After all these years, I see all this writing here. What does it say? Return one of your defeated Autobots to play. Okay, yeah, I don't know how this game works, and I'm not really going to be talking about the game today, I'm just going to be talking about the figures. So let's get Hot Shot out of the way here, and let's talk about these clones. So here we have, obviously, if you're a clone fan, you know that this is Commander Devis. It was an unused concept in the movie. He was supposed to be with Commander Bly's 327th Star Corps, but he just wasn't in the film, and he did get an Attacktix figure. Now, if you're familiar with the Revenge of the Sith toy line, you will certainly have seen this thing in the Revenge of the Sith product pamphlets. This was one of the flagship Attacktix figures, and I gotta really give it to it. This Commander Devis figure looks real... What? My mistake, guys. This isn't Commander Devis. This is obviously Commander Bly. You can tell because he's got that mustard yellow, he's got the visor, and he's got the unique Bly deco. Oh, this is Commander Bly, guys. Don't be fooled by it. No, this isn't Devis at all. This is Bly. What? What? No. What? Okay, let's... This is a very recurring theme among this toy line, and let's take a look at the articulation this thing has, because these things actually articulate. I don't think it has anything at the head. You can move this arm up. You can move this arm up to aim your Attacktix blaster. You can rotate his waist to aim. Pretty much all the articulation is just for using the blaster and shooting it off. And if you're wondering, these blasters shoot really, really well. I'm quite surprised how well they shoot. And for reference, this is what the bottom of Commander Bly says. So there's Commander Devis Bly. What should we call this weird mashup of Devis and Bly? Should we call him Blyvis? He's Blyvis. What do you know? Of course they gotta have a standard white clone trooper in this line, because of course it's the freaking clone trooper. And he's got a very weird gun. I don't know what this is. I can't tell you what this is. Is it supposed to be what does this look like to you? Oh, it's a camera! That's what it is. It's a giant film camera. They're, the film crew of episode 8 revealed. Articulation on this one, his arms are all the same, and you don't have a lot of aiming with it. Does have rotation at the waist, and I think this one does have a head, so that's pretty nice. And, unlike Commander Blyvis, this one didn't really mess up the name. He's just a clone trooper, and that's what the bottom of him says right there, if you care to see that. Next up, we have my boy, the 212th, and you can see he's the exact same mold as a standard white clone. He's got the giant camera. And one interesting thing to note about his deco, the 212th is very iconic for having a triangle on the top of the helmet, and you can see This, instead of painting the triangle on the helmet orange and having the crest of the helmet be white, they just painted the crest of the helmet orange. I can kind of forgive that. It's just a little gimmicky toy, but still, that's something they did. You can see my copy's quite yellowed. These things really did yellow due to a very nice meme on the channel called Hard Plastic. So yeah, there's that. Also, he's a clone trooper. He's just a clone trooper. He's not 212th, he's just clone. But hey, that's alright. There's no problem there. And I do believe he does have a different write-up on the bottom of what he does in the game. So, does he? Yeah, he does. So he actually does have different value, even though he's got the same name. So hey, that's nice. I appreciate that. Here we got another repaint of the standard clone, and this is the Shock Trooper. And you can see, hey, it's the Shock Trooper. They didn't really mess up the deco on this one much. I'm not really seeing anything wrong with it. It's the Shock Trooper. It's a little figurine of the Shock. You can see underneath, he's got a little write-up. And here you can see he's a clone trooper, but look at that. He's actually got the Imperial logo. That's quite interesting, and I guess it kind of works, given how by the time these guys really showed up in the movie, that was pretty much the Galactic Empire, even though they were still Republic shock troopers generally throughout the Clone Wars, but hey, it's going off the original 2005 Revenge of the Sith movie, and by the time you saw these guys, the Empire was large and in charge, so I'm actually quite a big fan of that little detail. Moving on to another mold, we have the Clone 500 First Trooper, and this is a very interesting figure in the fact that it actually does have a completely new sculpt. And I think they may have repainted this in some way or shape or form, I'm not really sure. Yet again, he's got a giant freaking DC, and there's not much to talk about with him. Swivel head, swivel, swivel, swivel. Different game thing here, you can see. You got a different thing on the game, but look what he's called. He's a clone commander, so I guess this is supposed to be a Poe or something, and his allegiance is also the Jedi. If I recall correctly, in the 2005 Revenge of the Sith movie, which they obviously watched if they consider the Shock Trooper an Imperial, 500 Firsts only appeared when they were killing the Jedi. Why would they be in the same faction? Okay, that's weird. That's interesting. Let's move on. And here we have, what? This is very interesting. So it's a standard white clone trooper. Yet again, a new unique sculpt here, a different pose. And he's got blue or purple stripes on his arms. You know how I am with the colors. I really can't tell nowadays. But he's got just colored striped arms. I think they're purple. I'm gonna vote that they're purple. Put in the comments below how wrong I am. And yet again, you can see right there, he's actually got the little dots like clone officers, but he doesn't have any markings on his helmet like Phase 1 clone officers. So it's like they took a Phase 1 clone officer and just gave it a Phase 2 helmet. Also, he's a clone lieutenant. So I guess this is what lieutenants look like in Phase 2? I don't know. I think that's thinking a little too hard on it. Yet again, different little game thing here, but still, it's clone lieutenant. Wait, I just realized. That's not the Republic logo. Isn't that the freaking Confederacy logo? Right there. Isn't that the logo for the Confederacy of Independent Systems? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Is that not the logo? Why is that there? Here we have yet again another pretty yellowed guy, but these things are old. They're what, 12 years old now? I can forgive that. Yet again, he's got the same camera. I guess this is supposed to be like a DC-15 carbine, but it looks nothing like it. And yeah, he's just a Republic pilot. He's just a clone pilot. That's all he is. He's got a yellow torso. He's looking pretty nice and snazzy. I'm not sure. Yeah, he can move his head a little bit. Even though all of the frame was just my hand. You can move his arms, standard stuff. He's an ARC pilot, and he's yet again with the Republic. That's interesting. I guess ARC pilot's fair. That's a fair name. There's what he does on the bottom. Yet again, I don't play the game, so I don't know. Yet again, we have unused concept art from Revenge of the Sith making its way into this toy line in the V-Wing pilot? Yeah, V-Wing pilot. Wait. Not again, god damn it. Freaking Confederacy? Freaking Separatist, really? Well, how is he a Separatist? I can understand being Empire, he looks super evil, but Separatists? Okay, I think I've drawn the line. He's... Oh, wait, what's this? See that? That's the Imperial logo. He's an Imperial, a Republic pilot, and he's a Separatist. Man, I sure wish I could have many affiliations like that. I would certainly not be trusted by anybody. I don't think this guy is trusted by anybody either. I don't even think his own mom trusts him, probably. But, wait, clones don't have moms. That joke is irrelevant. Finally, we have the one that breaks me inside. This particular Attacktix figure breaks my soul. I don't know why. I can't explain. Actually, I can. I can explain why. Let's look over how he looks first. So, he's got light blue markings, like 501st markings, see? He's got a lot of black on him. He looks a lot like the Covert Ops trooper. He looks a lot like a Covert Ops. And I think he's a Covert Ops. He looks very much like when he's got the camo gray. That's a very Covert Ops thing. He's got blue. Even though the Covert Ops Trooper was purple, I believe. He's got a green visor. That's neat. That's interesting. Who is he supposed to be, you may wonder? He's a repaint of the 501st. That's one thing he is. Another thing he is Commander Gree. He's Commander Gree. This is supposed to be Commander Gree. How is this Commander Gree? I am upset by this. This infuriates me. I can't even read what these words say. They say, what? Attack back? Attack back. Attack back. If white, free move and attack one of your Jedi. What? That's Commander Gree. I need to end this video now. I need to go. So there you go, everybody. There's my Attacktix clone collection. There's others. There's more. And if I get them, I'll show them. But this right here makes me so upset. I need to just calm down. Because number one, it's not that big of a deal, right? It's just a freaking toy. Number two, I need to calm down because I need to make an outro. So there you go, guys. There's been my video on Clone Trooper Attacktix with a guest starring Hotshot and guest starring General Grievous. I hope you guys enjoyed this little nice look at some very niche Clone Trooper items. Clone Corner is always striving to make the most unique and interesting videos related to the Clone Trooper. So, there you go, guys. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Check out my social media. I got myself a Discord if you want to check that out. We got some conversation going on there. I got a Twitter that I barely use. I got a Facebook and Instagram I use all the time. Check me out, son. Anyways, have a good day, guys. And as always, may the Force be with you. What the fuck?
Mission accomplished, sir.